It was always at midnight when the visitor came. Not a moment earlier, not a second later. Sarah first noticed the peculiar pattern a few weeks after moving into the old cottage on the edge of the secluded village. The townsfolk had given her wary glances when she mentioned buying the place but had said nothing explicitly. Now their silence made sense. Each night, the grandfather clock in the hallway would chime 12 times, and with the final echo, the air would grow still, and the temperature would drop, as if the house itself held its breath. Sarah would hear the soft click of the front door, even though she always made sure to lock it. It would creak open, followed by ominous, slow footsteps making their way through the foyer. At first, she thought it was her imagination or perhaps some local prankster. However, it wasn't long before she couldn't ignore the strange occurrences. Objects in rooms were moved, faint whispering could be heard through the vents, and shadows seemed to dance on the walls when no one was there. One night, driven by equal parts curiosity and terror, Sarah decided to confront the visitor. She armed herself with a flashlight and hid behind the sofa, facing the front door. Midnight came, and right on cue, the door opened and the footsteps began. Her heart pounded in her chest, the sound reverberating in her ears as she waited, flashlight in hand, frozen with fear. A figure appeared in the doorway, tall and cloaked, its features obscured by the dim light. It paused, as if sensing her presence, and the air grew frigid. She could see her breath misting in front of her as she tried to remain silent. Summoning all her courage, Sarah leaped up and shined the flashlight directly at the figure. The beam cut through the darkness, revealing empty space where the figure should have been. And yet, the oppressive cold remained. A whisper, chilling and menacing, filled the room, "You shouldn't have come here." The light flickered, and the shadows seemed to stretch toward her, hungry and insistent. In a panic, Sarah dropped the flashlight and ran. She sprinted out of the house, not daring to look back until she was safely under the dim streetlights of the village. Out of breath and trembling, she looked back at the cottage, now silent and dark. The old house loomed, an ancient sentinel guarding secrets better left unknown. The next day, Sarah put the cottage up for sale, the visitor's warning echoing in her mind. The townsfolk didn't look surprised, merely nodding in understanding. They knew the stories, the legends of the midnight visitor. And now, so did she. No one ever stayed in the old cottage for long, but the visitor? The visitor always remained.